Hey there friends, welcome back to Your Life Rocks. We are talking about how in the world to get it all done on your weekly prep. Not everything. We've done other videos about how you can stack and get a lot more things done with your time, but today we're specifically talking about your weekly prep because we've talked a lot in the last few videos on how to do weekly success planning in a way that really sets you up for success in all areas of your life, that you can really be proactive and intentional. And by now you've probably made your weekly planning list and you're like, that's a lot to do and this is supposed to be my day off from work. What in the world? How am I going to get all of this done? And today I'm going to share with you the strategies to do just that. If this is your first time here, this is the place for tips and inspiration for working Christian moms just like you. Make sure that you hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And I will link to our previous playlists right up there with all of the videos for your weekly planning, so it can really help to set you up for success. Now, if you've already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor and just share it with your other working mom friends that you might have on Facebook so that they can get these tips and inspiration as well. When we're all less stressed, we've all done our planning as our self-care, we're all happier and we all need a happier world right now. So share away. All right, so here is what I want you to do. I want you to open up your Life Rocks app and go to your weekly planning list. Now, when you have the list in front of you, you're going to be categorizing all of the things that are on there, okay? So the first thing you're gonna categorize is T. T stands for time. Things that are gonna take a lot of time. Like, it's not something that you can just delegate or do really quickly. It's something that's gonna take you a little bit of time, okay? Next, you're gonna label things with an M, and these are multitasking items. Now, some examples of multitasking items are things like your laundry. It's not like you put a load of laundry in and you stand there and watch it and you wait for it to be done, right? You can start the load of laundry and then go do something else. Multitasking. Bet you never thought of it that way. There you go. Next is D. D stands for delegate. Put a D next to everything that you can delegate. For example, on my list every single week is that we take out all of the trashes. I say we because I don't do it. My 15-year-old or my 11-year-old will take out some of the garbages and we just clear the entire house of those garbages. So that is something that I can delegate. Dishes, cleaning, a lot of things that you can delegate to other people that you might have on your list. And here's a little tip for you. Again, remember, not everything on your list has to be done on your weekly planning day. Some of these things are just reminders that you need to do on Wednesday. So on your weekly planning day, you might be setting up a reminder to do that thing upcoming on that Wednesday. But when it comes to delegating, there might be things on your list that you don't need to delegate on that particular day, on your prep day, but you can delegate it later in the week. It might be things that you need to maybe check in with your child's caregiver about and things that they need to be doing, or someone who you work with and things that they can be doing. So it's important to remember that it's not all about the tasks that need to be done that day that you can delegate, but be thinking about other things that you can delegate as well. Which brings us to our last thing that you can label, which is S, and S is for schedule in the week. So once you've gone through your list and everything is labeled, and by the way, some things might have multiple labels and that is totally okay. So once you have everything labeled, then the first thing you're gonna want to do on your weekly prep day is to delegate the things that you can delegate right then and there. And the reason why you wanna do this first is because if I, for example, let my kids or my husband know, hey, these are the things I need your help with today, then it gives me time to go and do other things and come back and check in to see if it's done or if they have questions about it or whatever. It allows some extra wiggle room, some margin space to be able to get that done. Because sometimes it's not just a, I told you and now it's done, right? So sometimes we need to follow up or do whatever we need to do. And so that allows you that time. Now, second, once you've delegated everything, is to start your multitasking. This is when you want to start your laundry, start the dishes, start whatever it is that you need to do in order to do the things that are multitasking related. So those things can be going on in the background while you're doing other things. Number 3 is to do the things that are required to do before you do something else. So for example, you can't exactly prep your meals until you've gone grocery shopping, right? So you want to get done those things that are waiting on other things to get done before you can do them. Now, this kind of for me fits into multitasking a little bit when we're talking about groceries, because I have my groceries delivered. So I will go ahead and place the order, and then while I'm waiting for Instacart to do the shopping and do the delivering, I can be doing other things. So when the groceries come, then I'm ready to deal with that part of my weekly prep. And then number 4 is to get busy doing the things that are going to take the most amount of time first. Now, here's the thing. We could just go a whole different ways with this. You could say, I'm going to first tackle the things that require less time. I call it the Dave Ramsey approach, right? We tackle those little things first, we can cross them off, then there's less things on our list. But the problem is oftentimes the things that require a little bit more time, if we wait until the end of the day, we don't have the energy to do them. And then, let's be honest, we're not going to stay up late and get it done. So if you can get those things done earlier, kind of like eating the frog, you kind of get those tougher, bigger projects done earlier. It's easier to say one more thing, and that one more thing is going to take you 2 minutes to do, and then you can go to bed or relax or do whatever. Makes it so much easier to actually get everything done on your list. Now, when you're dealing with things on your list that are in the S category, schedule for later in the week, I highly recommend that you're also looking at things that you can put on your calendar for later in the week. So for example, if there's new habits that you're working on, or you just need reminders for things that are coming up or things that you need to do, schedule in those reminders or those alerts on your phone, so then that way you don't ever forget any of those upcoming things. Now, here is my tip for you on how you can really get the bulk of your things done. And I've shared this before in how to be more productive at work in that particular video, which I'll link right up there if you haven't yet watched that video. I talk about how you can stay focused and be the most productive version of yourself at work. And I use the same tool in my weekly prep too. It's called the Pomodoro timer. And essentially you are working for 25 minutes and taking a 5-minute break. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes when I'm doing my weekly prep, I will do that the opposite way, where I will rest for 25 minutes or do something I enjoy doing for 25 minutes and then prep for 5 minutes. It works. And then, you can do like a 4 cycle. So every time you do that 25 minute, 5 minute, that's considered a cycle. You do that 4 times, and then you take a longer break. And maybe that longer break, then you're doing something that might require a bit more time or a bit more focus, or following up on some of the delegation tasks that you had already given out. Or you can do it like I do, where I do actually work for the 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, but then on that longer break after 4 cycles, that is where I will just sit down and watch a TV show and rest on the couch. But I have my phone in my hand, so that's when I'm setting my reminders or doing the things that I can do from my phone while I'm sitting on my couch. Makes it so much easier and a lot more enjoyable. And here is my last tip for you, and it is simply a reality check. After a couple weeks of you doing this system, know that the first few times that you do it, it is going to take you a little bit longer because it's something new. Anytime we're learning something new, there is going to be a learning curve, and it's normally going to take us a bit longer than typical. But after you've done it for about 3 to 4 weeks, if you're finding like I am still not able to get everything done, or it just feels like too much pressure and stress, I would challenge you to go back through your list and edit it. Figure out what else you can delegate that maybe you're not delegating, or what things you just need to let go of and decide it's not that important. Here's an example. I once had a client who every single week on her weekly planning cleaned her house top to bottom. We're talking dusting the ceiling fans, wiping down the floorboards, completely cleaned her house every single weekly prep day. Now that is a lot of work. If you are finding that you are cleaning every inch of your house on your weekly planning day and it's overwhelming you and you're not having time to do a lot of other things, that can be a sign that maybe you need to get some more help around the house, whether it is enlisting your kids in chores, hiring someone, doing whatever it is that you need to do in order to clear some things off of your plate. You cannot do all of the things all of the time at the exact same time and expect time to just keep expanding for you. Eventually, something's going to break, and likely it will be you. Now, while planning is a form of self-care and it really is helping you eliminate your stress, if it's causing more stress, you're not getting the point of the exercise. So you want to kind of look at that list, edit it, figure out what it is that you can take off of there. And if this is something you're struggling with, or put it in the comments of this video, and I'd be happy to help you edit down your list so that this is something that brings life and energy into your week and isn't just a time and energy suck for you, because That's not the point of weekly success planning. Now make sure you hit subscribe because we have other videos coming up to help you in all areas of life, including your weekly planning. So make sure you hit subscribe and watch for those videos. Until then, keep building a life that rocks. Bye.